The Conservative Party, both in Scotland and in England, is experiencing significant turbulence, raising questions about its future, the stability of its leadership, the possibility it's even going to survive to the next general election. In Scotland, the resignation of Megan Gallagher as the deputy leader of the Scottish Conservatives sent shockwaves through the party, reflecting the broader challenges facing the Conservatives across the UK. Her resignation, announced amid the ongoing leadership contest to replace Douglas Ross, underscores deep-seated issues within Scottish conservatism, and her cited concerns about the party's reputation following allegations against Ross, particularly regarding his alleged attempt to replace a general election candidate, has cast a shadow over the leadership race, with Gallagher and other candidates demanding clarity on the situation before the contest can possibly proceed. This internal discord is just another procedural hiccup, and one too many, showing that there is a deeper malaise within the party, and the Conservatives both throughout the United Kingdom really are struggling to find a clear and cohesive identity. But in Scotland, at a time when the SNP is weaker, it seems ironic that the Conservative Party is on its knees. The broader context here is that the Scottish Conservatives have long struggled to compete with the SNP, and under Ross's leadership the party faced criticism for failing to effectively challenge the SNP, and these latest allegations could further erode not his credibility, but the credibility of the party itself. Gallagher's resignation is a significant blow to the party's leadership structure, leaving it in a precarious position at a critical juncture. And meanwhile, the Conservative Party in England is also mired in controversy and internal strife. The party's been grappling with challenges on multiple fronts, almost all of their own making, including the ongoing fallout from Brexit, economic difficulties, growing dissatisfaction with its traditional voter base, the abandoning of so many of its voters in the core One Nation heartland, the leadership of Rishi Sunak coming under increasing scrutiny. But I would say he's only picking up the pieces left behind by Liz Truss's incapacity, and the various factions within the party expressing divergent views on key issues such as immigration, economic policy, and the UK's role on the global stage. But possibly it's immigration which has been rattled up as something that they thought they could deal with and would be a suitable diversion. That has become a central point of identification. It's absurd. In both England and Scotland, these internal divisions are therefore indicative of a party that is struggling to find its clear sense of purpose, its clear identity, having abandoned what it once stood for, which was unity and the role of law. It's now anybody's, really. It's now defined itself in terms of immigration. When you define yourself simply in terms of what you don't like, nobody knows what you do like. And that's the problem with the modern Conservative Party. Nobody actually knows what it stands for. It stands against things. So once you remove those things, does it cease to exist? And whether the Conservative Party can overcome their own internal disputes and present a united front actually proposing something remains to be seen. My own hunch is that this is a slow death struggle, and something needs to turn around. It needs a leader who can actually pull the party together, and I don't see that among any of the leaders in the current competition. And it might be premature to declare the end of conservatism. The current situation, however, presents a significant crisis. And in Scotland, the party's struggles are emblematic of the broader challenges facing unionist parties in the face of the SNP, and the dominance of the SNP, the SNP might be collapsing as well, but that idea of independence has not quite disappeared, and the Scottish Conservatives certainly haven't made the case for the Union. If Scottish Conservatives can't resolve their leadership issues and regain the trust of their supporters and do what they're supposed to be doing, their relevance in Scottish politics will be zero. In England, the party faces its own sort of existential challenge in maintaining a broad coalition of voters and trying to pick up the ones it's actually squandered. The rise of new political movements, the erosion of traditional party loyalties, could lead to a fragmentation of the Conservative vote, making it difficult for the party ever to secure a majority in any future election. The coming months, therefore, will be critical for the Conservatives, and should they go down the line of Priti Patel, Kemi Badenoch, or that sort of pandering to the right wing, they might just as well invite Nigel Farage to take over, because that's the direction they're going. Both in Scotland and in England, the party needs to address its internal divisions and its direction to present a clear, unified vision to the electorate. And failure to do so could lead to further decline and potentially a fundamental realignment of British politics. Brexit was about protest, let's face it. And following the result of Brexit, following the Brexit vote, nobody knew quite what to do, because nobody had anticipated that result so clearly. Boris certainly looked shocked. And that's really the problem. Because Brexit was a protest vote, and in a way, because the election of Labour was a protest vote, nobody quite knows what is expected. So Keir Starmer has quite an interesting job. But while the Conservative Party continues to define itself in defiance, it continues to leave doors open to anybody else. And nobody likes a constant whinger. So there is no focus, really, for conservatism at the moment, except banging on about invaders and migrants. It's tiresome. What is the Conservative Party actually going to offer to the country? If it can rise to that challenge, then there might be some hope. But otherwise, we're witnessing the beginning of its end. And I don't think it's going to be able to navigate its way out of the current turmoil unless it can find a positive message. That positive message cannot be what it doesn't like. It has to be what it does like.